Is my audio?
Hi guys, welcome back to the Alpha Talk podcast. Got some lovely ladies here tonight. We're gonna do some debate for you guys. Get right into it. Let's jump right into it. Let's go.
Getting paid. Why you gotta be here?
Hi guys, welcome back to the Alpha Talk podcast. Today I have some ladies here, and the topic of the day, guys, is modern women marriage material. That's the title of the video. So we're gonna jump right into it, guys. But first, I'm gonna let the young ladies introduce themselves. Starting from the top, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name is Vita. I'm 22. I'm a Christian. I think I'm a critical thinker and traditional.
Awesome. Next.
I'm Susie. I'm also 22. I'm a TikToker. I love to argue. I love to debate, and I'm a pre-law student.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Kelly. I'm 21. I'm a personal stylist and shopper. I'm branded through Nordstrom and I do celebrity stylings. I do all of that and I do social media and content creation for them. I have a more traditional standpoint on things like this, but I'm willing to debate whatever.
All right, ladies, the title of the video is Are Modern Women Marriage Material? So let's start from the bottom up. What's your take and why? So are modern women marriage material and why? If so, or if not?
I would say no, just because modern women nowadays are very strong-headed and independent, I would say, and they are taught to feel like they should not need a man in their life at all and that they don't need a man to do anything. So therefore they have the idea of pushing men away and having these high standards, but then they don't realize what standards they are putting for themselves and how other people are perceiving them, and they're not perceiving them the same way that they perceive themselves. So that's why I feel like modern women are not marriage material nowadays.
Okay. Jacuzzi? Is it jacuzzi?
Yeah. So I actually think like quite the opposite. I think a lot of women nowadays specifically, they want a lot from a man, but they're not willing to work for it. I believe that like in order to get a high quality man or to marry a high quality man, you need to also be high quality and like reach that potential. I do think that a lot of women are like that, but I do think that women expect a lot from men nowadays and aren't willing to reciprocate either like financially or things like that. So
I think modern women are not marriage material because men value purity and the modern woman is not pure. So at the very least, because she's not pure, she's not marriage material. A lot of the modern woman also doesn't really prioritize like cooking or at least learning how to cook and being feminine and being submissive and loving and
Okay.
respecting her man. So for those reasons, no, I don't think modern women are marriageable.
Okay. So what would you guys say is the number one thing that women need to fix or do better to be more marriageable? Because obviously half of our marriages are ending in divorce. All right. So what would you guys, what's the number one thing? If you guys had to name one thing that modern women are just completely doing wrong. Like
They need to fix their attitude.
Go ahead.
They need to fix their attitude.
So attitude?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean exactly?
Just wanting to fight all the time, bicker, and like they love the toxicness of relationships, and they don't really realize that that's not healthy at all, and that's kind of what's glorified nowadays.
Okay. Go ahead, Jacuzzi.
I would say more of like become an equal, and as far as like working and being like, I don't know, I just feel like in the past, like I don't know, in the past, women were usually like stayed home and the guy did all the working and the woman like provided and stuff. And I feel like in today's society, especially like in today's economy and stuff, women need to be like equal as far as like what they're willing to put into the relationship.
Okay. So you're saying women need to be more, they need to act more equal, or what exactly?
So like equal contribution. So like I don't think the man should be expected to do anything, just like I don't think the female should do all the work. It should be more of like a group effort, especially if you want to like sustain the marriage.
Okay. And you, Vita?
I think women should stop trying to be men, and they should go back into the role that God created them to fulfill. I think it's the biggest mistake.
Agreed.
Okay. All right. So now my next question for you ladies is, since you believe that there are certain things that modern women are doing incorrectly, who is dating more complicated for, men or women? Let's start with you, Vita. Who has a harder time dating?
Harder time?
Yeah.
That's I don't know, that's tough. I mean, I can say that both parties are suffering and both have it kind of hard. I do think it is harder for a man to get married, because it's kind of like an L in today's society. But I guess so, like if we're taking the modern woman, like it's hard for her in dating as well because the man that she's with doesn't really want her, and she's always going to be treated like a side piece because that's what she's identified. That's what she's already identifying as.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then it's hard.
Side piece. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
So if like a woman walks out of the house looking very promiscuous, she cannot say that the world is objectifying her because she objectified herself.
Okay.
So she's already putting herself as like the hoe, not as the main chick.
Okay.
You know, is a high value woman. So I don't know. It sucks for both parties. And
So if you had to give one trophy, who has it harder, men or women?
men, oh yeah, men, yeah, they're expected to do everything. Yeah,
Okay.
while women are just gonna, I am the prize. I'm pretty, so I'm the prize. So yeah,
Okay.
harder for men, easy, yeah.
And Susie?
I definitely think it's harder for men. I feel like women have a lot more options. I'm not saying men don't. It depends, especially if you're a high quality male, you tend to have more options. But definitely women, or definitely men. Sorry.
So men have it harder.
Yes.
Okay. Keely?
Yeah, Kelly. I think men also have it just harder in general. Like she said, they have less options. Women have men throwing themselves at them every single day, and it's a lot easier for a woman to go out and find a man than it is for a man to go and find a woman that wants to be with them.
Okay, so what would you guys say is the number one thing that's hardest for men? Is it courting women, or is it finding a woman to marry, or is it getting sex? What exactly do you guys think is the hardest thing for the modern man in terms of dating?
I think finding a woman to marry, because it's really hard. It's really easy to find a woman for sex, but to find a woman for marriage, I think that's hard.
I don't think it's easy for them to find a woman.
I mean, like it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy for men, but it's much easier to find a woman for sex than it is to find a woman to marry. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Kelly?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier for a man to find someone to have sex with them than to marry them. But then again, I do think about the fact that there's a lot of women out there who will just marry whoever they can in order to get half of that.
Susie?
I would definitely say the reason that it's harder for a guy to get married nowadays is because I feel like they're very hypocritical most of the time in what they want. they say they want a good quality girl with hard work ethic and that respects herself, but in all honesty, they usually cheat on the girls that are considered hoes. So at the end of the day, in order for a guy to like have a good quality woman, I just feel like they're hypocritical, and that makes it like more difficult.
So you think men are hypocritical in what we want from women long term?
Yeah, to an extent. Not every male is like that.
So what do you mean? We're hypocritical because we cheat on the good girls with the hoes?
Yes.
But do you know why that is though?
No, I'm actually very curious.
Do you understand that men don't look at having sex with other women as cheating?
But why is that?
Because we won't marry the hoe. We'll fuck her. And sex is very primal for men. We don't use sex. Sex is not as emotional to us as it is to women. So I don't think men are hypocritical at all. Do men lie about their intentions? I do say that. And I would say a lot of men are not upfront about telling the woman that they're dealing with that they want to fuck other girls. But every man would like to have multiple partners in women. But that doesn't mean that he will love all those women. He can only truly love one.
So a guy can have sex with another girl and still love her.
He can have sex with plenty of other girls, but only love one girl.
So,
That's true.
Go ahead. Go. Who got what?
question is, so sex is more emotional for women, right? Women get emotionally attached, but men don't, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So question. So if you have a woman that you love,
Mm-hmm.
you sleep with her, right? And then you have sex with other women too.
Mm-hmm.
You're technically emotionally abusing the woman that you love.
No, because what is emotional for me is my resources. What is dire to my heart is my resources, not sex.
Right, but
so I'm not sharing my resources with the other women. I'm sharing my resources with one woman.
We're not talking about abusing yourself. We're talking about abusing the woman because it is emotional for her.
But I think what he's trying to say is that emotionally for a man, what matters to him is their money, their time, who they're spending their time with, what they're doing, who they're taking out on actual dates and stuff like that. All of that stuff is emotional to the man. Sex isn't really emotional to the man. Sex is just a plus to the good woman. If your man is with a good woman, sex, it doesn't really matter to them. It's not really about the sex when it comes to that good woman, because everything else is overlooks all of that. But then when it comes to a hoe, the only thing about them is sex. This man doesn't plan on spending his money on them. He doesn't plan on hanging out with them every day. He doesn't plan on taking them out on dates, because that's what he's doing with the woman that he loves, because that's who he's investing in. A man's not going to invest in a hoe. So which is emotional for them.
Right. So Vita, this is why a lot of men don't like going on dates anymore, because we look at the courtship process as us investing to something long term. But a lot of women nowadays will go on dates for fun. So there's no incentive for a man to court modern women, because for us, what is emotional, what we love, right? We show that through our resources. This is who men have always been, who we protect and provide for. So it's not emotional abuse to the woman, because we have two different sectors of emotion. We look at this relationship in two different ways. You talking to other men, you get attention from other men. You might not see it as something that should hurt your man emotionally, but you're supposed to be his prize. Like, so anything as little as communication with other men. This is why men are so big with their girlfriends not being on social media, right? Because that's something as little as that. You're giving other men a pathway to have access to you we don't like. Does that make sense?
But I have a specific question. So if I was with a guy and he could cheat on me and have sex with other women,
here we go. Let's stop the cheating.
But I can't get attention from other men and I can't sleep with other men. Then what am I benefiting out of that? Because I can make my own money.
Okay, so here we go. Let me explain that to you. So when you decide to be with one guy, right, you should, as a woman, this is where the responsibility goes out the window. You should, as a woman, pick a guy that can take care of you, right? If modern women are choosing to go 50-50 and marry bums and then leaving them in 5 years, that is your responsibility. You should pick a man that can be able to provide and protect for you. Just what comes with that is he might fuck other girls, but he won't love them. This is how kings and sultans and everybody civilizations have been run for decades. I mean, for centuries.
How
Can I
does
ask a
Alright.
question?
Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead, Kelly.
So like I like completely understand it. I like and I agree because that's just how it is. Because I just feel like it's just not on equal levels. Like whatever a man does is not gonna be equal to like what a woman is doing. But my question is for you is like how do you expect a woman to handle a man having her man having sex with another woman?
It starts with boundaries. So I would say that the man you're dealing with should not lie about it. I think that men who do lie about it are cowards. If you're gonna be with a girl and you're telling her that hey, this is my girl, but you fuck other girls on the side without telling her, I think that's where she has every right to leave you. But if he comes up to you and say, hey baby, you're the main girl, I'm gonna take care of you, nobody's gonna get your spot. I'm not gonna bring you back any diseases. I'm not gonna disgrace you in public, but this is what I'm gonna do. And he gives you the option to stay or leave, then that is as clear as boundaries is gonna be. Because most men won't do that. Most men won't do that. They'll just date you and then fuck other girls, and then hope to not get caught. So I think a lot of women will actually be okay with what I just presented if men did that. And he was willing to provide. He does not 50-50. Right? I don't think he could do 50-50 with you and get the fuck out of bitches. I think that's crazy. I don't think
Yeah,
we should
because then we're not, because then it's like what am I benefiting from if it is 50-50?
Right. I think the man should provide and protect, but he's going to fuck out the girls.
In my personal opinion, I would rather go 50-50 with a man than be disrespected and have him sleeping with other women, because if I can't do that there's no point in that. Like I'm just emotionally losing and
No, you're not, because
really in every like losing.
This is the thing though, Susie. The man that you're going 50-50 with will still cheat on you. Like he's gonna fuck girls. He's gonna fuck girls even more because so this is what you ladies don't understand. When a man gets in a relationship, right? When he gets married, he becomes more attractive to other women. So do you know that when this 50-50 guy actually gets with you, he's gonna start actually getting a little bit more attention from women, right? You guys are gonna go out together. Maybe his coworkers are gonna see him. Every opportunity he gets to fuck another girl, he's gonna take it. Every single time.
That's not true about
Yes, it is.
all men.
Wouldn't you rather a man that can at least say no?
Yeah,
Or
But
would you
that's
rather?
falling under the assumption that every man cheats, and that's
No,
definitely
it's
not
not.
true.
Okay, here we go. I don't say the word cheating is incorrect. It's not cheating.
that's the whole world calls it cheating except for like a select amount of people, including like you, the Tates, Justin Wall.
It's just not true though. A lot of things that we've learned in this life is not true. Would you guys agree with that? So that's part of them. That's one of them.
It's been called cheating for hundreds of years, but now like
How come it wasn't cheating to kings? How come it was perfectly normal for civilizations, emperors to have multiple wives, but then
Yeah.
and then it all of a sudden became something wrong
Right.
Explain that.
Right. We're
It's messed up,
about
but it's like it's can I curse?
You can curse. Go ahead.
It's fucked up. Like it's so fucked up, but it's the truth, and that's just how it is, and that's why there's difference from like traditional and modern.
What do you guys want to say?
I completely agree that it's fucked up. And that's why I personally, a lot of people do tell me I act like a man. And as someone who's going to law school, I probably do act a little bit like a man. But I would much rather provide for myself and have my own morals and self-esteem than have a man that's going to cheat and lie and do things. And even if they tell me straight up I fucked another girl, I would leave him immediately because that's disrespecting me and my own boundaries. Some girls are okay with a guy cheating as long as they're paying their bills, providing for them, and that's fine. If girls want to do that, that's fine, but that I could never do that.
But let me ask you a question, Susie. So would you rather be with a man who, when you're going through pregnancy, when you actually want to become a mother for him, he can't take care of you, and you guys become homeless, and then you end up leaving him regardless. Because this is why most marriages end in divorce, because women get with irregular men, right? Because they don't want to be with the said alpha male that will have other women, but they realize that a family requires a lot of money and work, and the problems come when you get one child, and you're like, damn, I really can't afford this. This is why a lot of relationships and all the marriages end in divorce, because you don't expect what comes with a marriage. And if your man doesn't make enough money to take care of you and the children, right? Without your income, you're gonna struggle.
Sorry.
So would you be okay with struggling with your kids, potentially being helpless or not as much support? Or because he won't cheat?
No, I completely get what you're saying. I would never have kids if I couldn't financially support them, because that's just stupid and ignorant. But I do agree that I would also never marry a man or have kids with a man that couldn't provide or, couldn't take care of us.
But this is the thing. What I'm saying, though, CZ, is no matter how much you're making, when you add children into the equation, it becomes a lot more expensive.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so your man is going to have to take on the responsibility of taking care of you and the kids at least for a little while, especially if you're going to raise his children.
Oh, of course, if you're on maternity leave or, no, I completely agree.
All right, so the 50-50,
but that's where not marrying a bum comes into the equation. I mean, you have to look at, just because a guy is good quality, that doesn't mean he's going to sleep with other women.
So how much money does your man need to make then? That's a good question.
What do you mean? Like in order to provide for like a household?
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, I only know like based on like my own experience, but I would say anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000.
So
can I say?
Slow down. Susie, you're expecting your man to make 100 to 300,000. Do you know what percentage of men in the United States make this kind of money?
17.
I do not know the answer to that question.
Okay, she just gave you the number, but it's probably way lower than that. Only 17% of men, or I say 10% of men, make that kind of money in America who are single. So you're not looking for a 50-50 guy. What you just said is not correct. You're looking for a top 10% dude.
Well, also I'm speaking on how I grew up. So like,
yeah, but you got to date men. So if you're saying you don't want a bum, and he has to, be okay with not doing so and so.
Yeah, of course.
100 to 300K is not no 50-50 dude. That's a boss.
That's him providing for you, like your life. Like if he's making that much money, he better be providing for everything. You will not go 50-50 with a man that's making 300,000. And then a man that's making that much money isn't going to care how much money you make too.
So Susie, you might have to be okay with a guy making like 30 to 40K.
Whoa.
If I wouldn't marry someone like that though.
But you talking about you not okay. What comes with a guy?
I'm also speaking.
Let me ask you a question. What comes with a guy that's making top 10% money? What else comes with him?
Work ethic, someone who went to school, someone who has his shit together,
ambitious,
can provide.
Right? Probably has a good head on his shoulders. You know what that comes with?
What?
Other women. When a guy is usually at making that kind of money, he has a lot of confidence and he has options in women.
See, I think I'm also personally biased because like I had a really good father growing up, and my dad has never like slept with other women or like cheated on his wife, but he also like provides, and so I think I have like an interesting standpoint on that. But as well as I would be okay with them making less and us splitting it if we both had good incomes coming in. And some people aren't okay with that. I just have like a different perspective because I'm willing to bring in what the man is bringing in as well, so we can be like equals. And a lot of people disagree. But
there's no relationship that can ever be equal, because at your core as a woman, you would never respect a man that you feel like you're equal to. Women are hardwired to want a man better than them. This is why you like men who are taller, smarter, more intelligent, that can lead. It's not because you are a bad person. It's so your offspring survives. The reason why women make these decisions in terms of their mate is so they can guarantee that the kids they bring into this world can make it. So you're not gonna want to be with a guy that is making less money than you, and especially when it comes to raising a family, you definitely not gonna have any respect for him. So my confusion is I don't understand why women do not want to accept the fact that cheating between men and women are two different things. Why can't women I know why. Like I always said, it's because women understand, as much as women try to deny it, that body count matters. I go back to this point, all right? Women have such a big, they look at it as such a big deal that their man should sleep with other women, but then they try to move the goalposts when I talk about body count. Because women know that sex is emotional and it matters to them. That's why women don't like sharing their body counts, right? Because you know sex is an emotional act and it means something to you, but it doesn't mean that much to a man. So will you be okay with a man that's making 30 to 40K a year?
Yes, if he was actually a good guy and could provide for my kids and be
But
a good
how
father.
is he
I
gonna
think
provide
being
for
a good
you?
father is actually more important than having boatloads of money, because at the end of the day, like, I want my kids to grow up with a good father.
What do
And
you define as a good father? What do you mean? What is a good father to you?
I think someone who can raise my kids with respect and with morals. And if I was married to a guy who was sleeping with other women behind my back, to me, like, imagine telling your kids that. Like, imagine
What if it's
having to
not
tell
behind
your
your back?
kids how your father is. Like, that's just like, I don't want to have a disrespectful husband. Like,
What if it's not behind your back? What if he's being very honest with you?
but that would never happen because I would never like allow myself to be with someone like that.
Okay, so that means you want a guy who will not sleep with other women, but makes 300K a year, up to 300K a year, and no other, like he's only gonna want to sleep with you for the rest of his life.
Yes. 300K is not a requirement though. I was just throwing out like a number.
Okay,
That's not,
100 to 300, 100 to 300.
it could be a little bit less than 100K, but
All I'm saying is, with that kind of income, he's gonna have options with women. Any man that's making that kind of money, the problem that women have is you guys all generally like the same shit in men, right? In terms of like once a man gets to a certain level, his ambition, his finances, once it that is at a certain level, most women tend to like that type of man, right? So you're gonna be competing with other women who are gonna be okay with him maybe having multiple partners, who might be more beautiful than you. And this is the dilemma that women have. But this men go through the same problems. 18 to 30, or until we become stable or successful, we're overlooked. Nobody really pays attention to a guy who's barely making it. This is why most men are not even having sex. Women are like sharing the same type of guy. So it's what women say they want and what y'all are picking are two different things. So that's what I mean by men and women cheating on two different things. It can't work. I think your man is eventually gonna want to sleep with other women.
I definitely agree with the fact that you said that women nowadays pick shitty men. I
But it's not
pick
shitty
shitty
men.
men
I
as
don't think.
well as all of my friends.
Okay, here we go. It's not so much shitty men. So listen, Susie, when multiple women are sleeping with one type of man, it's not because they're all, yes, there might be some bad decision making, but that man tends to hold certain qualities that is attractive to most women, right? When you say shitty men, are those men usually attractive?
Yes, of course. Why
Are they,
else would
are,
they be
okay,
obsessing?
are those men usually confident?
Of course. Girls love cocky, full of themselves men.
So
I
that's
mean,
what I mean.
some girls don't. I'm not
Yeah,
saying everybody.
but that's my point, right? All women like that same exact thing in a man. Y'all all like the confident leader. So and then you expect this confident leader to only want to fuck you when
But
all y'all want to.
some girls can take a guy, build him up. Maybe he is only making 30K a year, but he's decent looking, he's good looking, and it's like Build-A-Bear. You can build him up, you can make him into the man you want, and then he's attractive and he's good quality, and he's also not sleeping with other girls.
Okay, what if once he becomes attractive and he wants to sleep with other girls? What you gonna do?
Well, then I leave him.
Okay.
Women,
So go ahead, Vita.
women want a man who's already established.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. Women should be Build-A-Bear because men want to actually shape the woman to be, under their wing, because that's where we belong. Because we are a man's rib, part of his rib.
So cheating is not the same, and the sooner women can accept that, the better. Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Vita.
your philosophy is like men want to spread their seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So long term, though, right? One father, bunch of women, bunch of kids. How do you think those kids are going to end up? Yeah.
Raised by a true alpha, amazing.
Really?
Of
Can you
course,
think the father can be present for so many kids?
he can see. Okay, here we go again.
Or
How listen, Vita, listen. How a man has his presence in a masculine way versus a woman is two different things. The woman is the nurturer, right?
Yeah, right.
How men raise each other he doesn't need to be in the kid's face 24/7.
That's right, not 24/7, but
he can definitely be there for his kids. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't think like even all over the Old Testament, because you were talking about like kings and they had different women. You don't think that all the kids at some point they actually start to gang up on each other? Because that's what happens historically. If you look back, like the kids.
It's the fight. It's the fight for the best. Right. This is the masculine imperative to win, to conquer. Right. This you see kids fight to be the next heir of the throne. Right. The next person that is chosen to lead the civilization. This is what men are at our core. We're competitors. So that's natural. That's very natural. That they're fighting to be the best. Why are they fighting? Why are they ganging up on each other, Vita? It was for a purpose,
Right.
correct?
Right. Yeah.
To be the next leader.
Yeah.
And that's supernatural for men. Survival of the fittest. This is how we all got here. The strongest men survive and reproduce. The weakest men die off. That's how we have a world today. The sooner women accept that, the better. Go ahead, Susie.
I actually don't think the strongest men reproduce because there's a lot of fathers out there that don't take care of their kids.
Okay, but that goes in part with women picking bad men. There's a responsibility there for a woman to not pick bums. I'm not saying don't pick bums.
Yeah, if you're a woman and like it is our choice to keep the baby or not, and if you know that man's a bum and you still choose to keep the baby, you already have an idea of what kind of father he's going to be before you even have sex with him. So it's like the fact that we're choosing to have sex with a bum and then choosing to keep a child from that bum, it's really hard to feel bad and complain and have people feel bad for you for complaining that you have a fucking bum for a baby daddy. It's like, girl, you knew what kind of you knew what kind of guy he was, and you still chose to keep the baby.
Okay. What do you have to say about that, Susie? Or should I go to the next point?
No, I kind of agree. We do have a choice on who we sleep with.
Yeah. And I will give you this token of my appreciation that you're at least coachable, right? You can understand different point of views, right? I believe that everybody should have responsibility. I'm not saying that men should live a life average and that women will still be there. I'm saying you have to be that winner as a guy if you want options with women. All men want options with women. They just can't get it. So if you want to be the man that women share, you have to be a phenomenal guy. And women, you just have to understand that because you guys are so hardwired to pick phenomenal men with everything ticked, every box ticked, you're going to have to share them. Or you can settle with an average dude. but women can't in your nature be with average men. You guys hate average men. Average disgusts you. That's why you cheat on average guys. That's why you take half of everything they've ever earned and leave them. And you don't stay in marriages with them long term. All right. I'm going to go to the next question. So that brings me to my next point. Are modern women more empowered in today's world or less empowered?
More.
Why?
The culture.
Explain.
Everything. Well, it's encouraged nowadays for women to be more masculine in general. The definition of of somebody that's masculine is somebody who is able to provide, protect, and take care, like not and take care of their family in a nurturing way, but they're supposed to be they're the providers and the protectors, and those are masculine traits. But women nowadays, they tend to gravitate towards those masculine traits because of the fact, like I said before, like they're encouraged to just be more independent and feel like they don't need a man. So it's the culture, and that's what's encouraged. We see it in TV shows, we see it on TikTok, we see like it's glorified that like for women to be more aggressive towards their man nowadays. We see TikToks of girls hitting their man just as a joke, but it's not considered anything because but then girls in the comment section will be like, oh yeah, like, oh power to the girl, like, oh, like, yeah, like show him like who's running the relationship. It's like that in that sense it's glorified, and that's why we see so much of that nowadays too, because we learn from it. People learn from it. Modern women learn from it. They see what kind of things those women are getting, and they're just going for the guys that are simps over them.
So does that mean that they're empowered or more masculinized?
They're more, I would say that they're more empowered because of the fact that they are being masculine, or they're trying to be masculine.
I disagree. I think empowerment is to help you live your legacy, your greater purpose in life. And I feel like every woman's greatest purpose in life is to raise her family. I think every woman has a power that men don't have, which is to create life. But we can't create life as men. And I think women are a lot more powerful than men in that regard, because we can't nurture a home as well as women can. So I don't think modern women are empowered at all. I think it's the opposite. I think you're encouraged to leave the household to come work and be more like men, or to give more tax dollars to the government. But you're not necessarily more empowered, because if you were more empowered, you would be raising your family.
I think what's empowering is when your true identity flourishes. And modern women are not living in their true identities. They're living in their broken, protecting themselves, defensive identity. So yeah, it's definitely not empowering, because they're actually happier by being modern women. They're getting lonelier. They're only getting more. Actually, like the depression in women has skyrocketed in the last 10 years, which is crazy. So yeah, it's definitely not empowering, because they're trying to be men, but they can't be complete like men. So they're being half. They're doing a half, job. So there's something empowering about it. And also, modern women are just not attractive. Like being masculine is not attractive. Be feminine, be beautiful, and that's.
Yeah, I would definitely say that being more feminine gives us more power. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because we literally take our gifts and we can use it literally to expand the world. Like women in general, where femininity is so powerful. So when women step away from femininity, they're only losing power. Just the same way as a man, his power is masculinity. So if he walks away from masculinity, he's actively losing power. Women can start a war, or women can create peace. We are very, very powerful beings.
What do you think about that, Susie? Are modern women more empowered or less empowered?
I don't know whether I would say more or less, depending on how you look at it, because you can't really put like all women in a category. I do think that more women are at least trying to be more empowered in the way of stepping into the things that makes them empowered, such as taking care of themselves. And like they said, I think feminine energy is very important, but at the same time, I think a lot of people think just because you're feminine and you're nurturing and you're caring and you take care of yourself and stuff like that, that you can't have other traits that are masculine. And I think a lot of girls think that just because they are feminine, they can't also have masculine traits
So
and that they need to be
what kind of
taken care of.
okay, let's talk about that. What do you mean masculine traits? What masculine traits do you think are beneficial to women?
So, like you were saying that being like a provider and being like confident and speaking up for yourself, that those things are the job of a masculine individual. But honestly, I think that women could use those things to great advantages. And I personally don't believe in the whole a woman necessarily needs to be taken care of to the fullest extent. Like, I'm not a child, I can take care of myself, but I can still hold those feminine qualities just because I choose to have, like, if I want to take care of myself or I want to do certain things, that doesn't make me masculine.
Right. That's just called being an adult. When I say being masculine, traits like being combative or trying to accomplish a great career. I think where you're mistaking this independence is you're thinking that you having this career that you can provide for yourself makes you more powerful. And I disagree. I don't think it does. I think you're more powerful if you're giving your youth and energy to your family and raising your children. But I think a lot of modern women think that no, if I'm able to take care of myself, if I'm able to go to the workforce and get a good job and a career, that means I'm independent and empowered. Well, in reality, you're just substituting your youth, right, and your beauty, right, to work for a corporate company that will fire you and don't really give a shit if you raise your kids or not. So I think a lot of modern women have been misled. I think you've been brainwashed to believe that independence and empowerment, right, go hand in hand with what they're offering you. Go ahead.
To an extent, I do think that I personally am not going to rely on a man to support me financially.
Why though?
And
Why
as
not?
far as kids go, I obviously wouldn't have kids if I wasn't in
But
the
why
financial
not? Why
spot
would
to
you?
have.
Why would you not want to rely on a man?
Because why would I not get an education and not have something going for myself? What if that man decides to get up and leave? You said he actively, seeks other women, or maybe if he doesn't see them as someone that he wants to be a wife, they could still get up and leave you at any time and you have nothing. They
So
make the income, they provide for you, they nurture you. Well, if they leave, what do you have? Nothing.
okay, but what? Go ahead, Vita.
There's a way higher chance of you leaving your man than him leaving you. Most divorces are initiated by women. So
70% actually.
yeah, 90% if she's educated. So don't.
Yeah, I feel like if you're
Don't-
just a good woman in general, if you're checking all those femininity boxes, like there's no reason for the man to like leave you. And like you said, like he might leave you for some ass, but he's not gonna leave you and marry that girl that he had sex with.
And this is the thing, Susie. When you trade your youth for a career, what happens is you become less desirable to men once you're ready to start a family. That's the problem that a lot of women are not. It's not being discussed. Yeah, be independent, babe. Be a boss, babe. All right. But guess what? Once you get this degree, you're not going to be as desirable to men as you would like. You're going to be a little older. You're going to be a little bit. You're going to go. You'd have already gone through a lot more trauma, which is not something that men desire from women. We want our woman as pure as possible. We want to show you the world. When you have to go out there and fight for the same spot that men are fighting for, that comes with a lot of trauma. I don't think trauma is good for women. All right. It becomes you take on this masculine role, and then you become more angry, more bitter. And then when you are ready to start a family, men are not picking you. This is what a lot of modern women are faced with. Right? Older, career, No man. But I don't need no man. That's great. But not the ones that you do want are not picking you. So what I want ladies to understand is this. Everybody is being programmed in a specific way, right? I'm programming you. I'm programming men. Everybody wants you to believe a certain thing. Even myself. What I'm telling you is I want you to believe a certain thing. But you as an individual need to step back and say, which programming has my best interest long term? Because everybody's trying to program you. Your man is going to try to program you. Society is going to try to program you. Your job is going to try to program you. Everybody's trying to program you. But as an individual, which programming is better for you long term? Is it substituting, trading your youth and beauty to a company that will fire you like this, or raising your family? So it's generally up to women, and the results are not good. Right? The last decade or two of women picking careers or family has not made women any happier.
Amen.
So do you get where I'm coming from, Susie?
Yes, I do get where you're coming from, but
Go ahead.
I just have a different point of view, which is fine.
But
I would rather have a respectable career and take care of myself than have to worry about someone sleeping with people behind my back and disrespecting me. That's not going to make me truly satisfied and happy, even if he's a high quality male.
Okay.
But like I said, some women are okay with that. I'm just not, and that's fine.
How old are you?
22.
So do you think? Okay, this brings me to my next question, which is a good question. Do you want to be married and have kids? If so, what age do you want to be married, and how many kids?
So I do want to be married and have kids, but definitely when I'm older. As someone who's going to law school, I won't even get out of school until my late 20s. And so because of that, I don't expect to have kids or get married until way later in life, which is fine by me. A lot of people like to get married earlier, but I'm clearly not in the place to get married anytime soon. But yeah, I only want 1 to 2 kids though. I don't want a lot of kids.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Susie. When you graduate law school with this high echelon degree, right? Do you think your standards are going to be lower or higher for men?
I definitely think that they would be higher, especially surrounding yourself higher.
Exactly. So you're gonna want a better quality mate, but you're gonna be older, right? And your value in a man's eyes is gonna be lower to him. So the high value guy that you're gonna want when you finish school, you're not gonna be as high value to him.
But it depends on what you're classifying as high value. If you're talking about looks, then you're probably correct. I'm not going
No. So
when I'm old.
Beauty.
Yeah. So looks aside, right? The reason why men like younger women, aside from the fact that they are purer, right? They've been through less men, but he can raise many children with this woman. She's going to have a lot more energy to help him raise his kids, right? Childbirth is more guaranteed. The older you get as a woman, childbirth becomes less and less guaranteed. So if you got a guy who's hitting his prime in his 40s, and he wants to start a family, why would he pick 30-year-old Susie, right, over a 21-year-old who's ready to help him raise his kids? And when you become this lawyer, right, you're going to be a little bit more masculine, and that's going to deter a lot of men away.
I think that a lot of hardworking women deter men away. That's just the society that we live in.
But do you know why though?
Because I feel like men like to be that dominant individual in the relationship and the provider, and a lot of men don't like girls that are more dominant and masculine, like you mentioned. And I completely agree with that. A lot of men don't. Mm-hmm. And that's, especially choosing my career, that's something that I'm going to have to understand. And I do understand that. So I do agree.
So are you willing to take that risk though? Is that a risk that you're willing to take?
Of course, because I value my education, my own career over what a man thinks of me or if he desires me.
What about if you were to get a family now and then get your degree after?
I would not do that.
Why not?
Because I think that I need to finish my education before I even start thinking about having kids.
Okay, so let's go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna ask you, but what if it was with like a great, like, what if you met like your dream man right now? Then what?
So if I was with my dream man right now, like if I was already dating someone before I started law school, I would say I would continue to date them. And then once I graduated and was on my own 2 feet and had my career going, that's when we would like actually start to have kids.
But Susie,
Like, sorry, go ahead.
Susie, I'm trying to explain something to you. I just want you to follow along, right? So if you was to trade your youth right now for your children, do you know that you can still pursue a career later? Opposed to if you was to trade your family now, it's gonna be almost impossible to get a career later. That's what I'm trying to get. Like you can, they'll take your money to be a lawyer whenever. All right, raising your family is not gonna be as. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot harder for you to raise a family later than it is to pursue a career.
No, I completely agree with you. Also, me having kids is not my top priority. I think a lot of people do have like a future of having kids and things like that, whereas I value going to school and law a lot more than having a family and having kids, at least at this point in my life. So I do think that if I was going to have like kids, or it would be a different story, but I feel like that's just not as much of a priority, if that makes sense.
Do you think in your 40s you will have different priorities and or maybe different values?
As far as like priorities, no, because I feel like as someone who's always wanted to go into law, that's all like something that I'm passionate about. And a lot of women, they want to have families and kids, but law is more something that I've been passionate about. So I don't know. It really just depends, but no, probably not.
What about like in your 60s when everyone else has like kids and grandkids, but you have a degree? Not saying you won't have kids because you might have kids.
Oh no, I completely get what you're saying. So like I said, I'm not gonna have like kids past the age of 30. Like I think if I didn't find a man by then, I agree that's a little concerning. But yeah, no, I think as long as I had them by like 30, 31, I'd be fine. I mean, my parents had me at 31 and they're not old. They're completely fine.
Was your mom a stay-at-home mom or did she have a career the whole time? Like was your parents a 50-50 marriage?
Yeah, my parents both have really good careers.
So I'm gonna go through some super chats and then we're gonna go to the next topic. Damon now super chatted $10. Appreciate it, bro. Damon now again another $1.99. Modern women don't want to get married. Maurice, formerly known as Sir X Gemini, with the $2 super chat. Bye, modern women. It's too late for y'all. Okay, guys, I do read the super chats. Everybody in the comments, I do see them. So if you have any questions for the ladies, you can super chat a question while we get to the next topic. All right. So, ladies, my question for you now is this. What's more beneficial to men, openly dating or marriage? I want to start with you, Vita. What's more beneficial to a man?
Openly, as in like not monogamous, like the opposite of monogamy.
Mm-hmm. I want you to explain why this is more beneficial and why.
Well, in this day, like right now, currently, it is more beneficial, I guess, for a man to be sleeping with as many women as he wants to sleep with, as many as he can, and be in an open, dating relationship, because that would be a lot easier than him getting married and having a 60% chance of being left by the woman and then half of his stuff, get taken by her as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's not really beneficial, but if we're talking about like what's better long term, obviously marriage to one woman, but that is hard looking at the modern woman.
Okay, so I have a question for you now. So knowing that it's beneficial to men to be more to date more openly, if you had a guy that was willing to give you marriage, all right now, I don't know if you already do, um, but he just wanted to sleep with other women, wouldn't that be a good deal for you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, definitely wouldn't be with a man who is sleeping with other women.
No. That's not my question. I'm saying
What's the question?
no. Knowing the fact that marriage is not a good deal for men.
Yeah.
If you were to meet your dream guy right now and he was willing to marry you, as long as he wanted to sleep with other women, wouldn't that be a good deal for you?
No, it wouldn't be because
Why?
it's crossing like my boundary.
Okay, and those boundaries are?
Desire.
Huh?
It's just not something I want. Like, would you? Yeah, no, that wouldn't be a good deal for me.
Okay,
And
so he
I'll tell you why. There are men that. Never mind. Yeah, no,
go ahead. Let's talk about it. Go ahead. There are men that
yeah, there are men who want to marry me and are not going to go sleep with other women. So if I have that, like, if I have those propositions, why would I?
so have you been proposed to?
No, not like a legitimate like on
Then
the.
how you know you have men that want to marry you that wouldn't go sleep with other women?
I mean, there are men that want to, but I don't give them the opportunity.
So those don't count. The men that you don't want that want you, they're not really options. We're
Yeah,
talking about men that you want.
yeah. No,
Okay.
no, so look, so I'm a Christian, and there
Mhm.
are so lucky for me, good for me, that I'm a Christian, and Christian men are also looking for, a pure woman, and they're not looking to sleep around, because maybe biology is telling them that they should be sleeping around, and that's completely normal. But um, as Christians, as followers of Jesus Christ, we are monogamous. We don't cheat. So, yeah, I have no like worries in that department at all. I'm very blessed to say that.
So how old are you?
22.
Okay, so what are you doing to get this man that's gonna give you a family? Or are you just waiting on him?
No, I mean, I guess like I'm not really like actively like pursuing men, but
Hmm.
I mean, what can I be doing? Being very feminine. I think that's one. Men notice femininity, uh,
Okay.
and I'm also not like I don't carry myself as an independent individual.
So in terms of attracting men, this is another problem that women have. What are you doing to attract men into your life? I understand your qualities that you have that make you
Yeah.
a good wife, but what are you doing to attract the kind of man that you want? Or are you just waiting on him?
No, I wouldn't say I'm like necessarily doing something to. I don't.
Okay.
What
So Vita,
question is what should I in your opinion what should I be doing
you
to
should
attract?
at least you should at least be putting yourself out there in some way, shape of or another.
Oh, I am. Yeah,
And what are you doing? What are you doing?
yeah. No, I am putting myself out there.
How? How?
Okay, well, this is a little bit of a silly example, but for example, even going on the What I podcast, I got over like 200 DMs. I think that's considered putting myself out there,
Okay. And
saying
what else?
cool 22-year-old woman who is a virgin. You don't think that's putting myself out there?
Yeah, but I'm talking about okay. So, sweetheart, the guys that DM you, a lot of them are still not going to be the guys that you want. If they were, since the time you went on the whatever podcast to now, one of those relationships would have progressed really, really quickly. I'm talking about actively. Like, what do you do to attract? Because Vidi, what you're going to require is the kind of man that you want that is also going to be monogamous. The problem is he's also this kind of man that you're going to want is also going to have attention from other women. So what exactly are you doing to show this kind of man that he should be picking you? Are you like, do you approach men?
Oh, I mean, I don't like come up to men and like Riz, not like that.
So
But
what do you do?
yeah, no, I talk to him. I mean, I go to church a lot. There's a lot of men. I don't go for men.
All right. So the problem that a lot of women have.
Not like this. Like I'm not like this girl that's like, talking to her girlfriends and like avoiding men and expecting
Mhm.
get like.
Do you
Why?
go to clubs?
No, I'm very spoken about my opinions, and I think a lot of men find my opinions very attractive because it's obviously traditional. So, yeah, I
Do
mean,
you
I'm out there. I am. Yeah.
do you go to clubs?
Do I what?
Do you go to clubs?
No, no.
Okay, I know. You know, okay, great. So I'm saying, what are you doing exactly to attract this guy? Because a man, the kind of man that is gonna want Vita, right?
Yeah.
He has to be doing certain, he still has to come up and approach you and be this guy and court you and lead it to something more.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
what are you doing to meet this kind of guy? Because the problem a lot of women have is you guys wait and sit back and hope for magic to happen, stars to align, and then this guy just magically sweeps you off your feet. That reality is not reality, right? That is, it ain't gonna happen.
Wait,
So
can I say something?
go ahead.
So I was gonna say that as far as like waiting for a guy or just like sitting there and waiting, I think a good principle, at least that I stand by, is like what I want in a man is like who I surround myself with. So, like for example, she likes to go to church, so she might surround herself with people who also like to go to church, which I assume that's how she would find someone that would be a romantic partner.
But guys that go to church like to fuck girls too. So don't get that mistaken.
Well, it
That
depends
dudes at
because some
church.
people really are waiting for marriage.
Yeah.
I personally am not really religious at all, and I have not had sex. I'm still a virgin,
Let's.
and I'm not even religious. It's like it's just a morality thing.
Mhm.
But I do agree. Some guys that go to church have had sex, but some guys really are waiting till marriage, and they are looking for women that are also waiting for marriage. They're out there. So I think it just really depends on who you surround yourself with. And I mean, like-minded people tend to be around each other anyways. So
Okay, so you're a virgin and Vita's a virgin, correct?
Correct.
And you guys are waiting for Prince Charming that is gonna just come and just find you, and he just so happens to go to your church. Like what I'm saying is, if you want Vita, I'm listening to what you're telling me, and I'm asking you how you're gonna get this kind of guy. You don't want a guy that's gonna want to sleep with other women, but he has to have certain qualities that's gonna be attractive to other women. So what are you doing to get this man, or are you just waiting? If you're just waiting, then I got some bad news for you, for
Yeah.
the both of y'all. I'm not saying you got to go approach every guy you see,
Yeah.
but like, do you like give guys choosing signals? What do you do exactly up for men that you have interest in? Right? What is your mating strategy? Like how are you planning to get this guy that is gonna be a Christian, that won't fuck other girls, that is gonna be successful, handsome, all these things that you want? What are you doing to get him to pick you? Because it's a competition. I think you think that just being, and I'm not saying it's not correct, you being feminine and a pure, that's really what men want. But there still has to be some activeness in terms of getting this guy that you need to be doing. There needs to be things you're doing to get this type of guy.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I keep myself hidden. I talk to like plenty of people, girls, guys, like anyone, and
On
not
social media?
not like that. No, no, in person, social media. Yeah, I prefer in person, but yeah, I mean, also okay. So look, like I'm Ukrainian, so
You what?
I'm Ukrainian.
Okay.
So look, I go to church a lot, and then also like my culture, I go to like Ukrainian churches. We're like always getting together. So I'm like I hang out with so many people all the time, so I'm not hidden. I have no
Mhm.
trouble talking to guys. I actually it's very easy for me to have an interesting conversation with men who will actually find the conversation interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily like coming up to men and asking them to go on dates with me. Definitely not. Because I do want like, I would want my man to be to be the initiator.
Confident to be able to come up and talk to you.
Yeah, like I don't keep myself like hidden. So I mean, I'm out there. That's all I have to say. I am out there, and I'm not hidden, and I am outspoken, and a lot of men, know my opinions, and they know where I stand. And
So, okay, what I'm trying to get at is this.
I wear dresses a lot. I don't know if that helps.
What I'm trying to get at is this. For a man to find a woman that he wants to be with for the rest of his life, he has to do a lot of work in terms of filtering and like finding the right girl, identifying red flags, stuff like that. He has to be keen on female nature to find a good girl. As a woman, you shouldn't be going through the trauma of sleeping with a bunch of guys to find that guy, but you should be putting yourself out there in terms of at least giving. Do you go to a nice gym?
Gym?
Mm-hmm.
I used to. I quit the gym on purpose.
So you don't go to the gym?
No.
Why don't you go to the gym?
Well, long story. I used to really love the gym. I was very obsessed with it. It was like my idol, and I was like, for me, it's heavy lifting. Obviously, for you, it's not heavy lifting. But there's obviously girls that go to the gym to like exercise and run or like hit workouts or do like light weights. But I was doing heavy weights, right? And I quickly realized that was very masculine of me. I mean, I was doing that for like a year and a half.
When you say heavy weights, were you like bench pressing or were you squatting and deadlifting?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. I mean,
you were bench pressing heavy weights?
What was that?
Were you bench pressing heavy weights?
Yeah, I mean, 65 was the heaviest I went, but
okay, keep going. What happened?
So yeah, I started realizing it was just it was very masculine of me to be doing that. Like a man going to the gym and heavy lifting is completely natural and good. Like I support that. But as a woman, I don't know. I think it just wasn't the best for me to be doing things.
Why didn't you just not lift heavy?
What was that?
Why didn't you just not lift heavy?
I don't have no desire. I don't have any desire for that.
Okay, so you not going to the gym, it does not help you get the kind of man that you want. You should just.
Sure. I like to play tennis, volleyball. Like I'm still active. I'm not a bum.
But just not going to. I think the gym is one of the first places you find this guy.
No. For me, I think church is the place that I find this guy. If I was of the world, if I was secular, if I wasn't a Christian, maybe the gym would be the place, but not for the life that I'm living.
What do you want to say, Kelly?
I was just gonna say that I got offended because I don't think heavy lifting is masculine. Like you said, like squatting and all that stuff. Like that's just, I wouldn't really consider that all like masculine behavior because many women do that. Many feminine women do that. Many women go to the gym and do that stuff in order to gain weight. Like we heavy lift when we drink protein to gain weight because we want to better our bodies when we have a certain goal for ourselves. So.
But Vita, do you think you were gonna gain some muscle or something, or you gonna get swole?
No.
Like if you're doing the right workouts with the heavy weight, you're not really gonna get buff and look like a man.
No. That is not what I'm thinking. I'm not like, oh no, I'm gonna get too bulky. I'm scared. No, I know that women it's so much harder to build muscle than it is. And I agree with you. Like there's plenty of feminine women that heavy lift and they sculpt their bodies and it looks amazing. But for me, the way I was treating it, it was almost like I was trying to prove my strength to someone. I think that's masculine. Not necessarily like the heavy lifting itself, because I agree with you. Like you could be very feminine in doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like I was almost trying to like prove my strength.
Or were you competing indirectly with other women in the gym? Or is that what you doing?
No, I wasn't competing with other women. No.
So because the goal of the gym is to improve yourself. So you should want to lift more weight, right? I think you looked at it the wrong way. I think the gym is a great place for any feminine woman that wants to find a guy. Because the church.
Also, I guess you must have not heard. I was literally idolizing like the gym, like strength training.
I don't think any masculine man, listen to me, Vita, I don't think any masculine man that likes feminine women will look at a woman that idolizes the gym as long as she doesn't start taking steroids and testosterone
Yeah.
and getting muscular. But a girl who loves to go to the gym is probably one of the biggest green flags as a form of self-improvement.
Yeah, well, so also, okay, so look, like 3 to 4 years ago, I used to be very masculine.
Okay, we're getting deeper into let's uncover the
Okay,
everything. Go
let's
ahead.
do it. I used to be very masculine, and then I became
Okay.
feminine, and then I started like heavy lifting, and I like took a step back because I was idolizing it, and I was also afraid that I'm going to like somehow sneak back into the masculinity that I used to.
So what do you when you say you were masculine, what were you doing?
Okay, so masculine as in I literally this is so cringe. Oh gosh. I thought I was invincible. I had all these walls built up. I was literally a very like cold person.
Why?
Cold because it was like a defensive mechanism. I didn't want to be hurt.
From
I,
what?
so,
What got you to the point where you felt you had to put walls up? Was it a boyfriend? Was it what exactly happened?
no, it was I don't want to get too much into it. It was just hurt. Just hurt.
But
Not
Avita,
I was never a feminist. I was masculine, but not in the sense of like I want to be independent. I don't need a man. No, I've always respected men. I've always thought like I would love to have a man, right? But masculine in a sense of like I
what caused you? Human beings only change when we go through pain.
person. I was a hard person. Walls built up. Very cold character.
Vita,
Very yeah.
human beings only changed because of pain. What caused you pain to become you weren't born masculine. You didn't
Right.
come out of your mom's womb with walls up. What caused you to be that way?
So I don't really think it matters what exactly caused it. I know what caused it, but I'm
You just don't want to share.
public right now. Yeah. So yeah,
Is
and
it a guy? Is it family? Just give me a ballpark.
no, not family. Just
Was
like
it
social. Just
so
yeah. No,
insecurities?
family. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, insecurities. That's a good yeah.
Okay. So you didn't feel like you were accepted socially. So you built up a wall.
No, not necessarily that. I was just very insecure
Okay.
in a lot of different ways. In a lot of different.
Okay. And now you don't want to go to the gym, but you want a guy that you want a
Oh,
guy that
okay,
that
hold on.
I'm listening.
I am taking care of my health.
Okay. But what I'm telling you is you can't have these standards in terms of a relationship, all of y'all, and expect this guy to magically fall through the window.
No,
Like this is how you set yourself up to get finessed or be with the wrong guy.
Yes, but that's why I was trying to state the point that like in order to get what you want, you have to become that person. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying to like become the male, but like you
but
have to have the qualities that you expect out of others, or else you're just
no, but those qualities, Susie, going to school and getting a career are not
Men
gonna.
don't care about that. I just
Yeah,
want to put that out there. Like a successful man who's meeting those standards that women go for nowadays, they do not give a fuck about how much money we're making because our money is not their money. They're not touching our money. We are the ones who they have to spend money on, but they're not gonna they're not out here taking our money, so they don't care. They don't care what education we're getting because they know they're going to be the provider, the man, this alpha male that we all seek for. Like they are going to be the provider, so they're not worried about how much money their girl's making.
so you can't necessarily become the guy that you want.
Right.
Like you can't become that person that you want because that's not gonna make you attractive. Same thing as men can't become feminine bitches that paint their nails and like gossip. That's not what's gonna get us more women.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that like a woman and a male should like make the same amount of money and that. What I'm saying is like the qualities. I'm not talking about like making money and stuff. I'm talking about like if a man is hardworking and successful and prideful and things like that, confident, he's gonna want a girl that's confident, successful, prides herself well, knows what
But
she's
you think?
worth.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, so then you're saying that a man who is all of those things wants a woman that's all of those things, then he's asking for a masculine man. Because if he's all those things, if he's the breadwinner, if he's the provider, and if he's seeking for all those things in a woman, he's looking for a masculine woman, that's not a feminine woman. Like a feminine woman, like literally the definition of a feminine woman is literally a nurturing, caring, sweet, like woman, like in that way. And then if you define masculinity, success is in masculinity. They don't talk about success in femininity. It's based
But
around.
you can still be a nurturing, good, feminine individual and still be confident and know your worth and things like that. Just because.
What's the need to like be confident and be like this breadwinner? Like, what are we trying to compensate for?
I personally feel like living at home and having a male do everything and me taking care of kids, I feel like I need to have my own my own career, my own like worth besides just that. Because that means I would be living my whole life just to get married and have kids, and some people don't even want kids.
Yeah, why do you say the word just? Like, just get married and have kids? Raising kids is such hard work. That is a whole career to be proud of.
No, I completely agree, and I'm not bashing any woman that chooses to do that. I'm just speaking like me personally.
So let's stop the show. This is a rooted fear. Where'd she go? Are you here?
Yeah, sorry, my AirPods just connected.
Okay. So the reason why you want this independence is because of a fear of being left. That's what it is. Right? You don't want to take on a family because you don't want to be left. But what I'm trying to convey to you is if you substitute a family for a career, right, you're going to actually be less desirable to the kind of man that you want, and you will still get left. So like you're going to get this career, like it's going to be even more painful to you when you're 40 and you realize that this career did not fulfill you, because you're thinking that this career is going to make you more fulfilled opposed to a family, because, oh, why should I give up my independence for a man? Because he can definitely just leave me. But I'm telling you that if you take that risk and get a career, you're going to be even less fulfilled.
Yeah, I completely get what you're saying. But I also think you can do both. It just depends on what someone wants.
So you have to make certain sacrifices for that. And I don't know, standards just don't have to be like, women hold men to a certain standard and then they can't do the things that the man wants. Like, how are we going to tell men that we want them to provide and pay for stuff and like do all this for us, but then we can't even be feminine in certain ways? We can't learn to agree with our man even when, or like we can't learn how to be submissive to a man. Like women don't know how to do that nowadays. And it's just something so simple like that can get you a long way.
Okay, ladies, next question. Last question. What advice would you give to your daughter on how to get a man? How to keep a man and how to get the ring? Your daughter right now. Let's start off with you, Vita.
Okay, I don't know what I would tell her to go and like get a man, like go win the man, but I'll say this. I would tell her to be very feminine.
Okay.
I would tell her to be very peaceful, not be like this naggy, like I have to have the last word, I'm smart, I'm this. To be very peaceful, feminine. What else? Put herself out there. Definitely not like I and be afraid of men. And
you keep breaking up in between words. So get closer to your mic or something.
Be submissive.
Okay.
Respect men.
Okay.
I not prioritize getting an education, I guess. Dress very wear dresses, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure my answer is so much longer, but I can't think of like what else to say. There's so much more.
Kelly, go ahead, Kelly. What advice would you give your daughter?
I would just tell her to just be like super sweet and that femininity goes a long way, and that if you just continue to be this a sweet, nice, like girl, like act like a woman, like do things that are like have manners and all these things that a lot of women lack nowadays, then you'll be good. You know, you'll have men that want to marry you. The goal is to have men to marry that want to marry you, not just have sex with you. So that's
Susie?
I kind of agree with what she said. I would say just wait for a man who loves you and respects you and treats you the way that you want to be treated. And yeah, just to wait for someone that makes you feel special and loved.
Okay, this one thing that you learned today. One new thing you learned today.
The thing about like the whole thing that we talked about the men and women, like the difference between them cheating and stuff like that. I already kind of like had a good sense of it, but you made it a lot more clear. I was able to see it in like a more open way than I used to.
Okay, Vita.
I don't know. The entire time, except for the fact that like I obviously don't approve of, you know, sleeping around with multiple women while they love one woman. So I mean, I agree with everything except for that. So I don't.
You still breaking up. Just bring your phone close to you.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean I agree with everything that you said except for the fact that it's okay and it's okay for men to, I guess, sleep around while they have a woman that they love. So I don't know. I guess I didn't really learn anything like new because I already agree with you on it.
Okay, Susie.
I wouldn't say I learned anything in particular, but I did like hearing like different perspectives on different topics. I'm someone who enjoys to like see every different perspective on things, and so I kind of enjoyed that.
Okay, and ladies, one advice you would give to the modern man in terms of how can it be better with women?
Follow okay. Follow Jesus and
Get closer. Get closer. Get closer.
follow Jesus and find your woman in church. Obviously,
Okay.
find a woman who is pure, who would love to submit. Not that she's like okay, fine to be submissive, but like a woman who wants to be. There are women I would love.
You keep breaking up. I know what you're saying is great, but I don't know what's wrong with your audio.
The Wi-Fi is perfect. I don't know why I'm clicking it.
So you want guys to find their women in church. She's basically trying to get you guys to find her, basically, right?
No, that's not my here.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Find a woman who is find a Christian woman, honestly, or a woman who, obviously, like if you're not a Christian, find a woman who is pure and who wants to be a mother, who wants to submit to you, a woman who has respect for men, and a woman who's not hurt from a bunch of past relationships. If she's hurt, like she's a tough one.
Okay. Next person.
Sorry, what was the question?
One advice you would give to men about women, how they can be better with women.
I would say just to respect women, and I don't know. That's really the only answer I have.
Okay. The only advice is to respect women. Great. Kelly.
I would say to stop trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho and trying to be with these thoughts out here who want to run your pockets, because that's where you get fucked over, and that's what leads you to play these good women who actually want to be there for you and actually love you. So yeah, stop being played by these hoes and tricks.
So why do you think a lot of guys get played by girls or these hoes?
Because they're simps. First of all, like every man's first like girlfriend, like first love or whatever, is like, you know, like they get hurt. Like for some reason they get hurt by them. And then everything like turns around after that. And then like they just become like, you know, I've seen a lot of guys try to go for like these girls who expect all of this shit from them, and then they have nothing in return, but they are so attracted to that because, like I said in the beginning, like the toxicity that men see, like men see the craziness and they kind of like it, you know, like they kind of like it, but they know deep down that that's not who they're supposed to marry. This is not a good woman to marry.
So you think a lot of men substitute beauty for quality? You think men?
Yeah, because you know, men are drawn, like, eyes, you know, they're
Mhm.
visual creatures. Men are visual people. Like they look at a woman and they instantly, like, they're like, damn, like I would want to fuck her. I would not, you know, like that's like the first thing. Like men look at the looks first, which is what gets the men attracted to them. So it's like that is what, you know, that's what they're looking at first. And if it's like this beautiful, like a siren, like if it's a beautiful woman, she sounds good, she's saying the right things, they're gonna start to fall for that. And then they're gonna be blinded by the beauty, they're gonna be blinded by the ass, and then be like, oh, like, yeah, she's, you know, she's beautiful to look at, she's awesome to, she's easy on the eyes, but is she really gonna do these things that a good woman is supposed to do for me, or is she just there to look good?
That's interesting. You said that. So you want men to look past beauty. So how do you propose they do that? Wouldn't
No,
it
no,
be-
no, I don't want them to look past beauty. I want
No,
them
no,
to
no, no. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying men need to look past beauty to select better women.
yeah,
As
yeah,
why?
I'm like, yes, like look past it, but then, you know, like I think a woman should still keep up with her beauty, and, like, you know,
Right.
she should not let it go. But
So-
how
so-
do they get past that? They need to, I think women need to be better and show and, like, if there was more good women in the world, I think there would be less fucked up men in the world who think in that way.
So wouldn't you agree that it is smarter for men to date more women in order to find better women?
I think it makes sense for men to date more women. Like I would want my man to have dated more, you know, like we go for men who have experience already. And it's
Right.
like me personally, I like learning from a man and his experiences. Like I like being taught. I like having my man be like, oh, you've never been here, I'm gonna take you here. Or you've never done this, I'll show you this. You know, like stuff like that. Like even though they've done it with another woman, they want to share it with me, you know? It's like
Okay.
that's the point of a man. He's supposed to guide the woman. He's supposed to know more. He's supposed to have been through more.
Okay. So I want to switch up the segment a little bit. All right. So first I'm gonna read this super chat. Luis Borgo goes, fit. Why do women go for crazy women? Why do men go for crazy women? It's kind of alluding to what Kelly just said. A lot of men that don't have options tend to settle for what they can get, and they tend to just take any girl they can sleep with, and they be with that girl long term. Men need to become higher value to be able to attract higher quality women. That's why men go for crazy women. So would you ladies be down to answering questions directly from the guys?
Yeah, sure.
Like if I was to bring some guys on and they had a question, would you ladies be down to do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. If you guys want to ask the ladies questions, I can bring you guys on the Zoom. You got to have one clear-cut question. If you guys want that, I want you to comment the word "two." If you guys want to ask the ladies questions, comment the word "two." So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up a Zoom chat full of guys, and they're gonna ask you questions, and me if they want to, and we're gonna have fun. So if you want to be able to ask the girls question, comment "two." Let me see how many twos we get. Okay, I'm gonna set it up real quick. So I'm gonna take a quick pause for about a minute, and then I'm gonna set up the Zoom chat. I'm gonna get some guys in here. They're gonna ask some questions for you ladies, and we're about to turn it up a little bit. All right. So give me a second. I'm gonna set up the Zoom chat. We're gonna get some guys ask you guys some questions. Ready? Cool. Give me a second.
Are we still live?
Yep. They just kind of dip. 1 second. I'm about to get a Zoom chat in the so you guys can ask the girls some questions. Let me play my intro for y'all while I set this up.
Getting paid. Why you gotta be? Getting paid. Why you gotta be? Getting paid. Why you gotta be?
All right, guys, we're back. I got the Zoom chat filled with people. Ladies, come back. We're about to ask some, get some questions from the guys. Let's jump right into it. All right, I'm gonna take the first caller. First caller. David. David, unmute yourself, David. And what's your question for the ladies? Make sure you guys unmute yourself. Everybody in the Zoom chat right now, unmute yourself.
Hello.
David, not you. David, unmute yourself. What's your question? Let's go. Unmute yourself, David.
Oh, what's up?
What's your question for the ladies? Can you ladies hear him? Can you ladies hear him?
Yes.
Can the people in the chat hear David? If you can hear David, give me a quick one. If you can hear David, give me a quick one. David, say something. Where you from, David?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, where you from?
I'm from Connecticut.
Okay. Can everybody in the chat hear him? Great. What's your question?
I have a question for, I think it's Jacuzzi B.
Okay, go ahead. What's the question?
Yeah, so I was just like, I was trying to let you know that I just thought you were really beautiful, and I was thinking like, if you wanted me to spoil you.
Okay, we got the first beta male that needs to get out of here. Get out of here. All right, next question. You see how pathetic guys are? Asking the question.
But that's what I mean. It's like these are the types of like these are the guys, and then like women go for these. Like women are only just going to use these kind of guys, so that's why it's unfair for beta males to be complaining about the fact that
he gets on the show and the first thing he does is asking the girl how to. And you wonder why you don't get no ass. It's very, very shocking why you don't get no booty. Interesting. Basil. Go ahead, Basil. You have a question? This motherfucker.
Yeah, hello.
What's your question, bro?
So I want to ask. So obviously, there's a contrast. The women who we know that women who want to be confident and maybe build something for themselves before they commit into a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
not a relationship as in a family or a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They want to secure something for themselves in case the man leaves or something like that.
Okay.
So we can see what the benefit they want is from that. But then when a woman knows that or wants to be um, sweet, submissive, things like that, what's in it for you in that type of dynamic?
I don't understand your question. Well, you said a woman wants, sir, she wants something from a man, like in terms of security. But when she's sweet and
No,
some,
not from a man in general, just from the whole relationship in general. So a woman who wants to secure herself before she commits into a family,
mm-hmm.
we know that she wants to secure it just for herself in case something happens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe a degree to fall back on.
Okay.
If a woman was to commit into a marriage as a very, very young woman, maybe 23, 24,
Mm-hmm.
how does she then secure that security in general?
Because okay, let me ask you a question. Let's think about this slowly. When you go to buy
Yeah.
goods and services, right? What do you usually trade the goods and services for?
When you buy goods and services,
It's called money, currency. So you tend to trade currency for the equal value of goods and services. Yes or no?
yes,
Okay. So when a woman is young and beautiful, she's trading security and provision from a man for her youth and beauty. So when a woman does not do that, when she trades youth and beauty for career, she forfeits provision and security from a man. That's what she's getting. She's getting security. She's getting security and provision from a man while she has the highest exchange offer. Does that make sense?
yeah, which is the natural. I mean, that's the standard.
But do you understand what I mean? So your
Yeah,
question was why? What does a woman get if she baby stays with a man instead of her career? And I'm telling you, a woman is trading her youth and beauty for provision and protection. She's not gonna get that from her career. Her career
yeah,
or
that's
her
true.
or her job will let her go, right? And when she's 40, she doesn't have the same equal exchange value to get the same thing from a man.
That's true. Yeah. So, um, so do you think that's the thought process that they would have when they weigh up these two paths?
No, a lot of women don't think about that. They think that they should be empowered, or they think that they are empowered by getting a career. When in reality, they can always get a career later once they've secured provision and protection from a man.
Yeah,
So
you can have both actually, but first, like you said, like securing the family is actually a better endeavor first than going for a career or business. I mean, I'm from Dubai. Like, we have women who are business owners and everything, but they also run a family. Like, they've already established everything really well in terms of family.
okay,
And then they'd have their online business, or they'd be running a cafe, something like that. But they've already established with their husbands that they're gonna do their role for the family the way they should.
right. And I would actually argue women have even more time after they secure a family. Like if you have kids and you get married young and you raise your family up until your 30s and 40s, that's the perfect time for you to have a career. Right? Because now
Yeah,
you have the family support. You're not in risk of you need to make money or you're going to get kicked out. You can actually pursue a career and do what you actually enjoy doing, opposed to just doing anything to make money. You see what I'm
that's true.
saying?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for
Okay. Yeah. That was a good.
thanks
That
for
was a good answer. Thank you so much.
you got it, bro. Thanks for coming on. JD, unmute yourself. Okay, I didn't give the ladies a chance to answer that question, but I'm gonna let y'all answer the next question. Okay.
Yo,
JD, where you calling from, bro?
North Carolina.
What's your question for the ladies?
I got a question for Susie.
Okay.
How do you expect to find a man with integrity that's not going to cheat on you when you're not religious?
I never said I don't have a religion. I just said I'm not super religious, like Vita, as far as like I don't attend church every Sunday. That doesn't mean I don't have morals. It just means I wouldn't call myself like a religious person, if that makes sense.
I mean, respectfully, that doesn't make any sense. How are you not religious, but you have religion? I don't get it.
That means that I wouldn't really define myself as religion. It is not a big part of who I am. I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. I grew up Catholic, but it's just I'm not a huge religious person.
Sure. All right. That answers my question.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro. Next person. Let's go, Benjamin. Unmute yourself, Benjamin. Where are you calling from, and what's your question for the ladies?
Yo, thanks for having me on, man. I'm calling from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm actually driving across the country right now. I got a question for all the ladies. So, for a guy like myself that's spinning a few plates at a time, how would you want the guy to handle letting you know about the other women that he's dating? It comes up time to time. You know, a girl's trying to go out with you. You already got plans for somebody else. How would you find that to be approached in a respectful way?
So, ladies, what he's asking is he's dating several women. How does he be respectful and tell you that like tonight is not her night or something like that?
Well, when you say you're dating multiple women, like in what way? Are you just providing for all these women?
No, not providing for all these women, but women that I'm just dating casually. Time to time it comes up where you're dating one woman, another woman wants to do something with you, so on and so forth. What do you view as a respectful way to let the other woman know, hey, I've got plans for somebody else tonight?
Well, that's your choice as a man. Like, how serious are you about this other woman? It's like you could either tell them the truth about, oh yeah, like I'm going out with this other girl. Like, they're not your girlfriend. If you say you're just dating them, they're not your girlfriend, so they shouldn't expect any more from you than just like dates every now and then,
Yeah. Are you in a committed relationship?
Go ahead, Peter. You gotta get close.
Are you in any committed relationship?
No, none of them are committed relationships on my end, but naturally I find that women tend to view these kind of relationships as more exclusive than the men do. So I've made it clear on my end that we're not exclusive, but of course, feelings get caught on either side sometimes. So again, all I'm asking is, if you know a guy's messing around with another chick, he's got plans with her, but you want to spend time with him, how would you like him to let you know, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm already with this other chick tonight?
I don't think you even have to tell her what you're doing.
There's like no point if it's not your girlfriend.
Yeah, like she doesn't have to know that you're with another girl.
Yeah, if you're honest with her, then I don't really see like a problem with that.
So this is where you got to be as a man. You got to set these boundaries, bro. From the jump, right? You can't, because they're not telling you the consequences that are gonna happen. But this is what the fuck is gonna happen to you. You're gonna run into girls who are crazy, that not necessarily crazy, but you're gonna piss a girl off in terms of her feelings. So if you're dating several girls and you're not exclusive with any of them, you need to make it clear as quick as possible that you're just dating. Because if they all think that you're their boyfriend and you let them have that thought, you're gonna have some problems later. Do you get me? Does that make sense, bro?
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate it, bro.
All right, dope. Appreciate you for coming, guys. I just posted a link in the chat. I'm gonna take about 5 more guys, so fill up the room. This is it. 5 more guys. I gotta let the ladies have a good evening. Preferably have a question for them or a general question. And I'm gonna pick the next caller. Next guy, Lewis. The only guy. What's up? Not Michael. Lewis. Lewis Borrego.
Hey, what's up?
Where you calling from, bro?
I'm calling from Austin, man. I love the show. Huge fan. Been watching everything, so I greatly appreciate everything you do, man.
Much love.
My question is for the ladies. Do you feel like life is harder for a man or a woman?
For a man, because they're expected to, provide. That's, women are in competition for men. So they have to hold themselves to a certain standard for us women to want them. So it's like if men are expecting certain women to want them, they're gonna have to bust their ass to get to become that alpha male that they should be in order to get certain women.
I think it's harder to be, definitely. I mean, a lot more men than women. That's much. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's harder to be a man. It's life is harder for men.
I completely agree.
Okay. They all agree that it's harder to be a man, bro. Any other question?
No. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Let's go. Javon. Javon, what's your question? Unmute yourself. Where are you calling from? And what's your question for the ladies? Javon, unmute yourself. Gotta mute me.
Bro, let me get it, bro. Javon laughing.
Okay, everybody who. Ed,
You got me?
go ahead, bro. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Aaron, bro. I'm from Virginia.
Okay. What's your question?
I mean, all right. So my question for Susie, all right? So she said, I was in a little bit. She said she wouldn't wanna like marry someone like her dream boyfriend before getting her career started.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask, like, if you had your actual dream boyfriend, and like actual dream boyfriend, he's making like 100 million, like he's making like a couple million a year, so he can provide for you, he can do everything for you, blase. Like you wouldn't, and like being that type of man, you don't want a younger girl. You're gonna want to start a family maybe. So that's the type of man he is. And he wants to start a family with you. He's not trying to wait for you to get your career, to get your life settled. He's not trying to wait on you. You wouldn't just choose that man and like just get your family started. Like he can provide for you, he can do whatever. And then like after you get your kids, like he'll even help you like pursue whatever you're trying to pursue. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, it's probably not gonna help him much, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So you wouldn't just start a family like if it was your actual dream man, like wealthy as fuck.
I think that definitely is like more theoretical than it is reality, because obviously if someone had their dream man, they would be provided for. But like in today's society, I think it's kind of dumb to just wait for a man to pop out and not establish something, even if that means not a career, like something as far as like taking care of yourself. Because there's not always going to be like, just because you want like a guy that makes a lot of money that can take care of you, in reality, that can happen, but it's not as common as people like to make it seem.
All right, well, I'm asking you like the hypothetical, like a dude, you meet him, like, oh shit, I never thought this would happen. It's happening to me. He makes $1 billion. This nigga has $100 million net worth. This nigga's fucking Andrew Tate, but he's my dream man. Like, you wouldn't start a family with him, and like he'll help you like answer if you're in the hypothetical, not if this hypothetical is possible.
So if it was like hypothetical, it would have to depend on whether like I was already in school or if I like was starting.
No, right now. If you met the guy today, or like you met him in the next few months while you were in school, would you abandon your career for a family?
No, I would not.
So you would rather so you would rather your dream man find another woman than to you pursue your career later.
Well, that wouldn't be my dream man then, because he would respect like the career and what I would want to do. So
But
if he,
how would that be fair for him? So if he wants the family, he would want Susie when she's young and youthful and can help him raise kids. So you want him
He's
to
still gonna help you with your career and everything.
right.
yeah, I would say
Family.
I would say it really
He's
depends,
not
because
trying to wait.
well, like with the current path I'm on, if I was in school, like I couldn't take care of kids or have a family. So
You would forfeit family even
your
for
dream
your
man.
dream man.
yes, I would tell him he would have to wait or else it wouldn't work out. Yes.
But then how does that because then wouldn't you that's just like having double standards, because it's like you're expecting this man to check all of these boxes because he's your dream man. Remember that. He's your dream man. He checks every single box. And the one thing he wants you to do is just stop going to school so you can have a family for him. That's the one thing he wants you to do, and you can't do that for him.
Yeah, but I feel like that wouldn't be my dream man then, because that would be forfeiting my plans to satisfy him. So then that would ruin the whole
He's not
point.
even trying to have
So there's no compromise.
He's trying to have you delay
So
your plan for 2 years. Like, start a family. You'll have a nanny. You know what I'm saying? He'll send you back to the school. He'll pay for that. You got a mansion. You got your dream man.
Yeah, like you're gonna get everything you want. It's just a matter of the fact that
You're like 50 years old. You got your degree. You're making money. You got no family. You got no dream man. Like, honestly, think about it. Like,
Yeah, no, I completely.
just don't try to argue. Like, honestly, just think and answer honestly.
Yeah, that's my honest answer. I'm not going to be that old when I get out of school. I mean, I feel like old is subjective, but I don't think I look that much different in 3 years. So, I mean, I guess if that's considered old, but I'm only 22. So, I'm not that old.
All right, you got it. But hold on. I have one more question for Rita.
Right.
So you said you wouldn't want a man who's not loyal, right? But try to answer this question like without like thinking of like how like Western society is like influence kind of program you to like hate polyamory and like really idolize monogamy. But like if this dude checked all your boxes, did all this, same situation with Susie, whatever, your dream man provides for you, but like he just likes having some woman on the side, and he's completely honest with you about it. But he just likes having some woman on the side. Like, you're still the most important. He still treats you like 100%, like the best way you could be treated. And maybe he's even Christian too. But like the version of Christianity he believes in is polyamory, because I'm sure that existed back then too. I'm sure that's like a version of Christianity that people believe in. Like, even if he's not loyal. Like, he is loyal because he's telling you the truth, but he just likes some things on the side sometimes.
Yeah, well, so I guess to start off, Western society has not influenced my like opinion on this. The Bible has. So the Word of God has influenced my opinion on should sleep or monogamy. I would not, still wouldn't be okay with that man, because also like I'm also looking for a man of God, and true men of the Lord, true Christian men, they don't sleep around. They just simply don't. So that would be actually the number one thing. So if he's a man of God, he wouldn't be doing that. So if he's doing that, then there's two things that he's really messing up in, and that's the fact that he's sleeping around and he's not a man of God. And I wouldn't choose this man on any day in any place. So
All right, I guess that's a fair answer. Appreciate you for having me on, FedEx, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Coming up, bro. It's just better than Fresh and Fit, bro.
Man, I appreciate everybody else podcast as well, man. They started this shit, man. I appreciate you though. All right, bro.
Coming up, though, bro.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Peace. All right, let's go, Benjamin. I'm gonna do Benjamin and Antonio, and that's it. Benjamin and Antonio, that's it. Benjamin, unmute yourself. Benjamin, unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1. You're out of here. Michael, unmute yourself. Michael, unmute yourself and state where you're from. No Michael either. The guy who's IG at the Magnificent. Can you unmute yourself? IG Magnificent. IG the Magnificent. Unmute yourself and state where you're from. You guys got to be a little smarter than this in terms of, being able to connect to your audio before I get to you if you want to be called on.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, where you calling from, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man? Calling from based in the UK.
Okay, what you got? What's your question?
At least first I'll say, man, I feel that, man, you've been doing a pretty good job the last couple of years, man. You're looking good, doing your thing, brother.
Appreciate you.
But I want to ask, what's her name again?
Susie, let me guess.
I can't really see the name, but anyway, the girl who spoke about she's from the church or something.
Vita.
Yeah, Vita. So I want to ask you a question. Your time being in the church, where's well, I would say as being a sister of the soil, or how you say child of the Most High. What is your experience been whenever you're trying to maybe make an approach when it comes to dating, knowing that you're you're a child of the Most High? Do you find it like difficult, maybe in your environment or in church, or how would you describe it? If you understand what I'm trying to ask.
Ooh, I don't know that. I don't understand the question.
All right, for example, I mean, like, as a lady, Christian, as you say, but at least I would say God-fearing.
Yeah.
What has been your responses whenever maybe you have someone come and approach you, or male, and you say that you're this, and maybe you can't do certain things as as a appropriate image? What has been your response? Or has any male ever came to you and you have to give a different response towards that, knowing that you are a child of the Most High? Do you understand?
Yeah. So, okay, if I understood your question correctly, so like if a man, so sometimes men approach me that are not Christian.
Yeah.
Like even in person, and I will just simply tell them, like, they'll ask for my number, and I usually don't give my number, actually, because also you can kind of tell if a person is a Christian kind of by their appearance sometimes. But no, yeah, I don't date or talk or entertain anything with any man that is not a man of God, not a Christian. I can have conversations with anyone. There's so many conversations about Christianity, but not in any romantic sense.
Okay. So basically, like, you would have those type of conversations and interaction, but in terms of like getting into a committed relationship base, if he is not of this subscribe to this to someone that's higher, then
Go ahead, bro.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just following up with Vita, that she was saying that that if you would have interactions with people, but to get into a serious relationship, if the person is not subscribed or committed or a lifestyle of the Most High, then you won't go for it, basically.
Yeah, most definitely not. Because the Bible says that you must be equally yoked.
There we go.
Yeah, no. So if the person's a non-believer, or if he's like, yeah, I'm Christian. I was raised Christian, but I don't take Jesus that seriously. Then it's 100% a hard pass.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, bro.
Yeah, that's all for now, man.
Appreciate you.
Your time, man. You don't take care of something. May God bless you and keep you and continue the faith, man.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Peace.
You too, brother.
All right, last guy. Antonio, unmute yourself and stay where you from.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Awesome. Where you from? Where you calling from?
I'm from Spain, bro. I'm from Spain. So in my English slips a bit. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best,
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is about hypergamy and female nature. It's mainly for you, but I also want to know the ladies' opinion.
Okay.
What I want to ask is, do you think that kind of suppressing that instinct from women is 100% the man's responsibility by constantly showing her that he's the best option she has, like being on his purpose, constantly improving, etc.? Or do you think that women need to also take her part and learn about themselves and their nature and actually make the rational thinking process of, damn, this man is high value. I should not be testing him or letting myself open to disturb him or any of that stuff. I mean, do you think that women should get more red pill? And what is the opinion on this for the ladies?
This might be a little too complicated for them, but I understand what you're saying. No, I think it's up to the men to understand their nature, because what happens when you force women to be red pill, they tend to only do that after they've gone through pain, right? Let's say and that pain is usually a lot of guys, right? But it's in their nature subconsciously to want to test you for strength. So I wouldn't look at it as a guy as, okay, she needs to just understand her own nature and stop testing me. She needs to keep testing you because this is how she knows that she's with the best guy. So you just need to accept that as a man, right? Because if you force her to be red pill and not test you, then is she really a feminine woman? Because a feminine woman will definitely test you, but it shouldn't be that much testing. But that's up to you, right? So based on how well you do how well you have coordinated your life, if you're high value enough, you won't get those tests naturally because she'll be afraid of losing you. But if you're slacking, then she's gonna test you.
Yeah, okay. So you should take it up as an opportunity. As if you're high value, you won't mind that test and actually benefit you.
Yeah, because you know the game, right? You know you're gonna win the test.
Yeah.
So don't try to avoid the test. Just know that if you're that guy, you won't get as many of them. Okay.
Okay, thanks so much, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Peace. All right, guys. That's it for the calls. It was fun having ladies here. But that's it for tonight, guys. You let it stay here for a second. It was fun. But I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, man. Peace.